would like to call the Monday, October 14th, 2024 Blue Springs Planning Commission meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could we get a roll call, please?
Sure. Commissioner Ingersoll?
Here.
Commissioner Pumphrey?
Here.
Commissioner Stokenberry?
Here.
Commissioner Smith?
Here.
Commissioner Sanderson? Commissioner Cradoff?
Present.
Commissioner Graham?
Present.
Chairperson Howell?
Here.
And Chris Henning is absent. All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you and welcome everyone to this evening and those watching from home. Tonight's agenda consists of item 1A, the minutes from the September 23rd, 2024 Planning Commission meeting. Items 2, 4, and 9, rezoning, plan development concept plan, and preliminary plat for the links. Items 3 and 5, rezoning and plan development concept plan for BPOE Elks Lodge. Items 6 and 7, conditional use permit and site plan design review for Home Depot. Item 8, master alternative sign plan for Life Unlimited. Item 10, community development monthly report for September. And item 11 for adjournment. At this time, I would like to entertain a motion on the consent of the agenda for the approval of the September 23rd, 24 meeting minutes, please.
Chair.
Yes, Commissioner.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Second from the Commissioner. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda, the applicant has requested a continuance of the public hearing for items 2, 4, and 9, and I'll ask for a motion to continue rezoning RZ 08249287, Plan Development Concept Plan PDC 08249288, and preliminary plat PP 08249289 to the Monday, October 28th, 2024 Planning Commission. Do I have a motion from a commissioner?
So moved.
Thank you. How about a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries, and those items have been continued for the Planning Commission on Monday, October 28th, in 2024. Next on the agenda, I will open the public hearing for agenda items 3 and 5, RZ 08249290, Plan Development Concept Plan PDC 08249291 for BPOE Elks Lodge.
Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I need to recuse myself since I'm a member of the Elks.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll give her just a minute. If I could ask if the exhibits from our city attorney, James Newland.
The city would like to enter exhibits 1 through 8 at this time.
Thank you, sir. I would just like to remind those in the audience, those who wish to speak, please stand and be sworn in as a group. All right, at this time, I will ask for staff's presentation. Mr. Willis.
Anyone that's
Oh,
going to
sorry.
speak outstanding, raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give this case will be the truth, so help you God. I did.
Thank you.
Christopher Willis, 903 West Main Street, on behalf of the city. You guys hear me all right?
There you go.
All right. Christopher Willis, 903 West Main Street, on behalf of the city. Before you this evening is a request to rezone 3.84 acres of the Elks Lodge property at 200 Northeast Brizendine from RE Residential Estate to PD Plan Development, and approval of a plan development concept plan to allow for the private club use of an existing barn, accessory residential dwelling, accessory recreational vehicle parking land uses, and all permitted uses within the SO Service Office zoning district. The proposed allowance of SO permitted land uses within the PD zoning district is intended to provide continuation and consistency between the proposed PD zoning district and the adjacent property to the south. The adjacent property to the south is owned by the Elks Lodge and is currently zoned SO, Service Office. The intent of the Elks Lodge PD zoning and PD concept plan is to allow for the unique mixture of land uses currently existing on the property and the unique location of the property on Brizendine Road, surrounded by Adams Point Golf Course, and to mirror the Service Office zoning district under which the existing Elks Lodge is zoned, and allow for limited accessory uses. The property is located within the Adams Dairy Parkway Overlay ADPO district. The proposed rezoning request is to only change the base zoning from RE to PD. The ADPO will remain and will not be affected by the change in base zoning. The first go ahead and show you guys the zoning map here. The first request is for a rezoning of the property from RE to PD. According to the 2014 comp plan, the future land use policy map designates the subject property as distinct destination. The subject property is a part of the C2 area specific plan, which was completed as part of the comprehensive plan in 2014. The C2 area plan classifies the subject property as civic, public, and semi-public, which is defined as areas to accommodate public entities, private uses that serve a broader public interest, or other facilities built and maintained for the general public use. This is a site plan to show the request for the PDC. The second request is for a plan development concept plan covering the entire 3.84 acres of property. The site includes an existing barn which will be allowed to utilize the space as a private club, a single-family home that will be utilized as an accessory residential dwelling, and an area for accessory recreational vehicle parking that will have a maximum of 8 parking spaces. That will be on a gravel/recycled asphalt milling surface. The proposed RV parking will only be available to Elks Lodge members, and no commercial or public RV camping/parking is permitted at the property. The applicant has requested modifications to the following regulations to the plan development process from UDC 407.040 to waive all landscaping requirements since no further development is proposed at this time. If development is proposed in the future, the site will have to come into conformance with landscape and buffering, and also request modification from UDC 505.210 surfaces to waive requirements for all commercial and private driveways to be permanently surfaced with dust-free material. Staff has reviewed the rezoning request under the review criteria and finds the rezoning request meets the policies, goals, and objectives of the 2014 comp plan. Staff reviewed the plan development concept plan under the review criteria and finds that it meets the intent of the UDC. Lastly, staff recommends approval of the rezoning application. The property is located within the Adams Dairy Parkway Overlay District. The proposed rezoning request is only to change the base zoning from RE to PD. The ADPO will remain, will not be affected by the change in base zoning. Staff recommends approval of the plan development concept plan with 3 conditions. If further site development is proposed in the future, compliance with the UDC will be required. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Mr. Willis. Any questions from the commissioners?
What's the current ordinances for the RV parking on this type of situation?
Current ordinance.
The current city code would not allow any RV parking on that property. RV parks are a designated land use, a recreational vehicle park is a designated land use that is not allowed in the service office zoning. It's only allowed in the regional commercial and light industrial zoning, if I'm not mistaken, Dave, with approval of a conditional use permit. The proposed RV parking spaces are proposed to be accessory only to the club and are only available to Elks Lodge members, whether from this lodge here or nationwide. The only camping spaces and the only people who are allowed to camp there are members of the Elks Lodge. And so it is purely secondary and accessory to the use of that property for the Elks Lodge. The Elks Lodge is developed directly to the south of this. So this property houses a barn and these 8 RV parking spaces, and there is an accessory dwelling unit. There's a house on the property that is rented, and so all of those land uses under this current under the proposed service office zoning would remain, and then those two accessory uses, the residential and then the accessory RV parking spaces, would be added to the service office.
Were there any letters of opposition for this?
No, we did not receive any.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the commission?
Chair, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Can you confirm, you said something about asphalt millings. Is this gonna be loose gravel, loose asphalt that is on site and these RVs are parked on?
The current property has gravel, and I believe there is some recycled asphalt millings that they have come across or that they have obtained and would like to put that down. I believe the intent is to have them be compacted, but I think that's something that maybe they could answer.
Okay.
Any other questions, Commissioner? Is the applicant here to speak?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Would you care to speak about on behalf of the tonight?
No, I think. the question
If you could
is-
step up to the. Thank you, sir. And if you could please state your name and your address, please.
My name is Ken Billups. That may be a familiar name to some of you.
Oh, I apologize. Could you please be sworn in?
I d-
Right hand,
Oh.
I swear you in, and do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this case will be the truth, so help you God.
I do. And I'm a little bit hard of hearing, so bear with me. What was the question?
Would you care to speak on behalf of tonight or anything about the?
Well, as was indicated, this is for the private use of the Elks Lodge and Elks Lodge members only. And at some point in the future, we may wish to use 1 or 2 of these stations for a charging station for EVs, if that it becomes something that we need within the Elks organization. But for the present, it's just an upgrade a little bit and to accommodate our members.
Thank you, sir.
I believe there was a question related to the asphalt millings. Can you state whether those are going to be loose asphalt millings or if they're going to be rolled and compacted?
It is our intention to roll and compact those. The millings that we have were accumulated. We completely redid our existing parking lot in the early summer, and we retained some of those millings with the idea that we would use them in this area. And Tandem Paving did that for us, and I'm sure that we can have them come in and roll after they're in place. Yes.
Any questions from the commission for the applicant? Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak in favor of this project? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in opposition of this project? The public comments section of this public hearing is over. Any further discussion from the staff?
No, sir.
Any further discussion from the applicant? Any discussion from the commission? I close this public hearing. I'd ask for a motion on the rezoning.
Chair,
Yes, sir.
I would move to approve the rezoning RZ 08-24-9290 for BPOE Elks Lodge.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. This will be a roll call. Tracy, please.
Commissioner Pumphrey?
Aye.
Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Cradoff?
Aye.
Commissioner Graham,
Aye.
Commissioner Ingersoll,
Aye.
Vice Chair Howe.
Aye. This item will be recommended and heard by the City Council at their Monday, October 21st, 2024 meeting at 6 p.m. I'll ask a motion on the Plan Development Concept Plan.
Chair,
Yes, sir.
I would move to approve the Plan Development Concept Plan PDC-08-24-9291 for BPOE Elks Lodge with the 3 staff conditions.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. This will also be a roll call. Tracy?
You got it. Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Cradoff,
Aye.
Commissioner Graham,
Aye.
Commissioner Ingersoll,
Aye.
Commissioner Pumphrey,
Aye.
Vice Chair Howe.
Aye. That motion carried with the 3 staff conditions. This item will be recommended and heard by the City Council on their Monday, October 21st, 2024 meeting at 6 p.m. The next item is for items 6 and 7. The applicant has requested a continuance of the public hearing for items 6 and 7, and I'll ask for a motion to continue conditional use permit CUP 08249283 and the site plan design review SPDR 08249284 to the Monday, November 12th, 2024 Planning Commission. Do I have a motion from a commissioner?
So moved.
Thank you. How about a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries, and those items have been continued to the Planning Commission on Monday, November 12th, 2024. Next on the agenda is item number 8, the Master Alternative Sign, ASP 08249285 for Life Unlimited. At this time, I will ask for staff's presentation. Mr. McComber.
Good evening, Dave McCumber, 903 West Main Street on behalf of the city. Before you this evening is a request for a master alternative sign plan submitted by the applicant, Mark Bertrand of Life Unlimited, to utilize the existing illuminated pole sign on the property address 3500 Northwest South Outer Road, which was constructed for the former UMB bank that once occupied this site. The pole sign is located near the eastern drive entrance along Northwest South Outer Road. I kind of have my cursor over it here. The cabinet extends to the property line, which is the one legal nonconformity on this application. The Unified Development Code does require that pole signs adjacent to I-70 are set back a third of their height. So a third of their height, that's the distance setback it should be. For this particular sign, that would be 10.6 feet, so 10.5 feet from the property line if a new sign were to be erected today at the same height. So let me skip to... Here is kind of a picture here from the sign company that's been hired to basically create a new sign face for them. As I mentioned previously, the pole sign is 32 feet tall, which would mean the widest part of the sign. The cabinet can't be any closer than that 10.5 feet to that north property line. The applicant has previously received a conditional use permit to operate a daycare business, an adult daycare business from the location, and they intend to reuse this pole sign by putting in new sign faces into it. It's still in good working shape, and they would like to repaint it as well to kind of clean it up a little bit. So staff has reviewed the criteria for the master sign plan and recommends approval of the application with one condition, and would be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the commission? Is the applicant here, and would you like to speak?
Yes.
And have you been sworn in?
No, I have not.
Oh, he doesn't have to.
You don't need to be. So please state
okay.
your name and your address. And
Yes, Mark Bertrand, I'm 3500 Northwest Outer Road. Yeah, we just would really, we're a nonprofit organization. So we work with adults with intellectual developmental disabilities. We recently opened a location in Lee Summit that we have filled up. It's a huge need for families in the area. And so we're looking to utilize this location. Obviously, for us to move that sign is gonna cost quite a bit of money to reconstruct, so if we could keep it, we'd appreciate it.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant?
For your 501(c)(3).
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
At this time, I will ask for a motion on the master alternative sign from the commission.
Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I move to approve ASP 08249285 Life Unlimited Master Alternative Sign.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. For all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carried with the one staff condition. That moves us to item number 10, the Community Development September Monthly Report. At this time, Mr. McCumber will present the 2024 Community Development Monthly Report.
Absolutely. So just before we get started into it, just a heads up for you. What was put in the packet, we realized was the report from August. I do have a PDF here that I put on a flash drive for backup, so I can pop it up here and we can look at that monthly report there. So just so you know, in case you're wondering why the format goes over to PDF. So taking a look at the monthly report for September, single family detached permits were up over 2023, but have kind of slowed from previous months of August. For the year though, at this point we are still up quite a few permits compared to last year. And then that kind of is also playing out in our total square footage and then construction costs as well. Kind of showing the year's trend compared to last year, and all but February and August this year, we have been pacing ahead each month. Some of our code enforcement activity here, the top violation types or code sections here. You can see public health, safety, and welfare is kind of leading that charge there. And then we also have building and construction coming in second there. Total code cases, that same sort of chart that shows compared to last year, and fairly consistent for the most part. I mean, there's a little bit of variation there, but overall it's pretty consistent where we were last year. And then looking at the types of code cases, the top code case types there, with nuisance inspection, citizen complaint being the top, and then followed by trash and highways and grass. Some of the recent activity that's came through the Planning Commission at the time that this report was put together. A few of the cases hadn't been to the City Council yet, but those have since, and I believe all of which were approved. And sign permit activity. So far in for the month of September, it was down a little bit over 2023, and then also for the year, it looks like it appears to still be down too. So, yeah, that does kind of wrap it up there. Any questions?
Thank you very much. Does the staff have any other business?
I don't believe so.
All right. Does the commission have any other business? All right. If there's no other business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's a meeting adjourned. Thank you very much. Have a great night.